What's your story?
To my younger self, what's your story?
To my younger self.
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 To my younger self. To my younger self.
To my younger self. What's your story? To my younger self. What's your story?
Well, hello and good morning. As always, it is wonderful to see you. We seem to be having a little bit of a technical challenge today, so do bear with us. If you come into the room, can you let us know if you can hear us and if you can see us? Well, basically, if you can hear me or if you can see me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to see you. Do me a favor as we're starting. Please, just share with your friends, share with your family. Tell them something incredible is happening on To My Younger Self today, and you want them to just be a part of the fun. And if your friend has an enemy, share it with them too. You know what I mean? Listen, we're gonna jump in today. We have an incredible session with our roving storytelling girl or ambassador who is Nuerki, the girl with the red hair. When you come into the room, could you do me a favor? Greet me I have gone off. I think there's a lag in the internet service today. I do not know why. It could also be that there's a lot of devices on the one internet, and so it kind of puts a strain on it. So do bear with us today, but we're gonna power through. We're always powering through on To My Younger Self. This is what we're known for: consistency and the ability to show up no matter what is going on in our private lives, in our regular lives, in our public lives. We show up. Okay, and yes, there is a lag. You're right. I do apologize for that. I was just talking about that. I'm not sure what's happening with the internet today, but when we are done, we will check it out. We checked out the systems yesterday and it was good. So I'm not sure what's going on today, but anyway, we're gonna move. Okay, we're gonna move. We just power through. Listen, where are you watching us from? We want to hear from you. Baraka dazua to you, Sanunku dazua yaya deka. Kwana lafia. I really hope you slept well. It is good to see you. Ya ken tuma fudu wela. It is good to see you. I just greeted you in Hausa and I love to speak as often as I can. It's not that often, but I do. Answer to you if you speak Wale or Dabani. Dinao, Wezo, Leke, it is good to see you. If you speak Abe, I greet you. Thank you so much for joining us at the same. I'm greeting you in different variations of the Akan dialect. I did Fanti, I think I did Achim, Chi itself. I'm very curious, how do you say good morning in the Bono language? I know that's also part of the Akan dialect, but I'm not sure how to say good morning. So I'm kind of, if somebody knows, can you tell us? Just put it in the comment section. I want to hear it. So Bonani to you if you speak Zulu, Ibella to you, Buke. Bari, if you speak Moshi, it is wonderful to see you. Te Oyo Teng, our Ga speaking friends, it is so wonderful to see you. Lale to you. If you speak Chadian Arabic, Salam Alaikum to you. If you speak Arabic itself, Ituamafe to you. Ekaro and also Ekabo to all of our Yoruba speaking friends in Nigeria. Someone actually did pose that question: why do we only use a Karo and not other dialects in Nigeria? I honestly do not know why, except for the fact that one of my very best friends is Yoruba, and I just kind of gravitated towards that. Like to any other dialect in Nigeria, we love them all. In fact, we used to greet in Igbo and other dialects too, but we just found out that the greetings away from the storytelling itself, and so we had to pick one, and Zoe just picked Yoruba, but not because one language is better than the other. You know, Nagadef to you, Wolof, of course, Jambo, Habari gani, karibu sana to you. If you speak Swahili, Kotong to you, Amohelang to you, Nyase, Aloy, Domelake, it is wonderful to see you. Kotoli to you if you speak Fofoli, and you are Fulani Ake to you, to our people in Haiti. Listen, I know there's some things going on in Haiti. We're always praying for you. Bom dia to you if you speak Portuguese. Bonjour, buongiorno, buenos dias, imaraba. Welcome, 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 welcome to the show that is really strictly just storytelling. Listen, today is a wonderful day. You know why? Lady Juliet is in the house. Okay, Lady Juliet, I miss you. Oh my goodness. How are you doing? I don't know what's going on today. This internet is not allowing us to be great at all, but it is all good. Lady Juliet says that she's got only 20 minutes, but she's here, and we love that about you. Yes. Oh God, you heard me, didn't you? Listen, I'm gonna stop dilly-dallying. I'm kind of trying to stretch it a little bit to see if the internet will hold before I bring our incredibly amazing, incredible storyteller or roving storytelling ambassador, Nuerki, the girl with the red hair on, but so that she can set us up for the story, right? But it looks like it's not really gonna go anywhere, so just stick with us. Just stick with us. Or hit the side of your phone or your tablet, you know, kind of hit it, see if that would, you know, rouse the internet back up. Well, Nuerki, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good.
You
Thank
didn't
you.
realize you were on, did you?
No, I didn't. I looked away briefly, but it's fine.
The internet is definitely interneting us today. My goodness,
It really is.
I don't know what it is.
We'll pull through.
We just powered through. We're laughing with all of the anxiety that's going on in the background, but listen, we move. Welcome to the show as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
love your
Thank you.
environment. What's going on there? Is that a tomb for I see in the background?
No, so it was during Otumfo's mother's funeral. I think it's the photo by Bob Pixel. I'm just moving.
Wow.
Yes. Today I am joining from the Decline Center.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Paul
So,
Nixon and his
Paul
crew.
Nixon graciously gave us space today. So
Oh my God.
where I'm hanging. I hang out here when I'm not out there traveling. I just come and hang out here. So today I'm in the Aduma room in the photo lab.
Oh wow.
Decline Center. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, you and Decline Center and my good friend Paul Ninson, you're all welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And listen, as always, this is your show. My job is done. Can you set us up? I know you have an incredible storyteller with you today. Just kind of set us up a little bit. Where were you? What's going on? And then we will just go on with it.
Okay, so today's stories are coming from Shai Hills.
Ooh.
The Shai Hills Resource Reserve. is run by the Forestry Commission in Ghana. For those who may not be familiar with it, it's in the eastern region, the Akosombo stretch. So when you're from Tema and you're heading towards Akosombo, that highway, it's somewhere on that stretch just after, is it Akuse Junction? Yes.
Wow.
So it's on that stretch. It's to your right. It's I don't want to talk too much about it because our storyteller will tell us a bit about the space. So I'll just tell you who is coming to share.
Right.
the story.
Yes, exactly.
So we have Portia Goh, but everybody calls her Mamavi. So
Wow.
yes, we have Mamavi Goh today to tell us a story. She currently works as a public relations officer at the Shai Hills Resource Reserve. Initially, she was managing some of the tours there as well. So when you visit the Shai Hills Resource Reserve, Mamavi is most likely one of those you meet to take you around, or she'll assign a guide to you. But now she's more PR for the Shai Hills Resource Reserve. She's a graduate from the Ghana Institute of Journalism. I'm sure you're wondering, what is journalism doing
Listen, they teach us PR also, okay?
Yes, but she will tell us all about that. So she's got years of experience in comms, marketing, tourism, hospitality and management, content creation, and social media management. She didn't add this to her bio, but a couple of years ago, she was on TEDx Accra.
Wow.
There was a very exciting session she had there. She's passionate about using her acquired comm skills to research, educate, and communicate relevant information in the best possible and practical way. Loves to read and loves to meet new people. Like Mamavi is just like, she's all energy and always exciting. So I'm happy to present Mamavi to us today. She has a couple of stories for us. And I'm sure we'll all be able to relate to the stories. So over to you, Zoe.
Wow. Well, listen, guys, I know the internet is kind of scratchy today, but please don't give up on us. Just hang with us, okay? Because you're here when it's good. This is like a marriage, okay? It's for better or for worse. So all those times when it's been good and you're stuck with us, just please do us a favor, stick with us today, okay? Let us feel like we're kind of, in this together. And also, as you're doing that, first, I'd like to take time to say thank you to our LinkedIn friends who are joining us, our YouTube friends who are joining us, and of course, our Twitter friends and Facebook friends who are joining us. But don't just watch for yourself. Be nice to your friends and invite them to kind of just hang with us as we kind of chill and hear stories with Mamavi Goh. I like calling her Mamavi. I just love that name. Listen, grab your cup of coffee or tea. I think I have tea today. Many paths lead to the same destination. It doesn't matter how you get there. I don't know. I think it matters how you get there, but anyway. We move. All right, guys. Nuerki and I will be back after we hear stories from Mamavi. I think it's about 20-something minutes. So just hang tight with us. Feel free to kind of just jump in and be a part of the discussion, the oohs and the ahs. And I'm hearing some of the stories for the first time with you. So we'll be back in about 28 minutes or so. All right. All right. See you guys.
Hi, Mamavi. How are you?
Fine, how are you too?
I'm well. I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Thank you
We're
too
happy
for
to
having me.
have conversations with you today. So today we're doing something different. We're having it in the car because
It's actually cool.
Yeah. So it's like we are on the road kind of conversation. So I'm sure you have some wonderful stories for us.
Yeah, I do.
One or two.
I do. I have a lot, but I think I'll share this one with everybody.
Okay.
Right. So when I was growing up, I wanted to become a journalist. Or I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say I still want to become a journalist. I don't know. But when I was growing up, I wanted to become a journalist. And in the family where I grew up, every time my dad would buy newspapers home from work for us to read. So basically what he was trying to do is to let us enjoy reading, getting to learn and spell new words.
Okay.
So I started to like reading while I was growing up. Everybody who knew me when I was a bit younger knew that I was going to become a journalist. In GSS, they used to call me Nana Banamwa.
Hey.
In secondary school too, I joined this press club. So I was actually on the path to become a journalist. And I mean, everybody who wants to become a journalist one way or the other ends up at GIG. I also ended up at GIG because Mamavi wanted to become a journalist. I think I was actually doing well. Did my internships in a newspaper organization. I was doing my internship at the time at GIG, which they still do have though. We had the radio station, Radio GIG. Okay. I did a lot of internships there as well. So I fell in love with newspaper and radio. I didn't for once think I was going to do TV. I didn't have any interest in doing TV. So I did my 4-year at GIG. I did my national service at GIG. And fortunately for me, you see, when people complete school, they have to write letters to find a job and all of that. Before I finished my service at GIG, someone came to one of my lectures and said, I want to take Mamavi to where I work to go and start working. Oh, wow. So I didn't really have to write an application letter. So just on the last day of national service, the following day, I started a new job, but at a TV station. Okay. When I went there the first time, I didn't like the place, but I said I've not done TV before, so let me just try. I came home, told my dad. My dad was like, TV station says they're not going to give me a job right away. I have to do internships. If I'm going to do internships, I'm not going to earn any money. Yeah. So I still have to depend on my parents and my savings. My dad was not ready to do all of that because after all I've finished school, so why do I have to do internship again? Yes. And then my dad said he's not ready to take care of me, and I couldn't really take care of myself then. So I had to stop. It was really sad, but I had to stop. Then I got another job like a week later with the school. I started working there. Then now, unfortunately, I'm not a journalist. I found myself in a totally different field. I currently work at Forestry Commission. What Forestry Commission basically do is to protect and manage the forest and the wildlife resources that we have in the country. Okay. When I started work at Forestry Commission, everybody was like, it came as a surprise to everybody because this is somebody who was training to become a journalist. How do you end up in a totally different field? Like, even till date, I've worked at Forestry Commission for 5 years, but every day I get people who ask me, what are you doing at Forestry Commission? Why are you not a journalist? You should be working in a radio or a TV station, or anything that is related to media and writing. So when I started my work at Forestry Commission, I was posted to a protected area called the Shai Resource Reserve. At Shai Hills, I started working as a tourism officer. Basically, what I'm supposed to do is to receive guests. Everything that has to do with tourism, tour guiding. I didn't like my job. I didn't like my job because I had to do with clients. There I was experiencing clients that were rude, like different kinds of people. But I've worked for 5 years. I think I didn't like my job for the first 2 years when I started because it was stressful. I wasn't used to doing weekend jobs, but here lies the case. I have to go to work almost every weekend because people will be coming into the park to tour the place, and you are supposed to serve your clients or serve customers. So I didn't really like the idea. It prevented me from going to church a lot of times. It prevented me from meeting my friends a lot of times. It was almost every weekend as I work. I didn't like my job. But when I was 2 years into my job, one time someone came into the park and then the person asked me, so do you love your job? I looked at him and I'm like, why are you asking me this? Then he said, you look like somebody who likes your job a lot because you're interacting with a lot of people and I see all the things that you are doing. That night when I went home, I had to do an introspection or ritual. How do you say that?
So you looked within. So
yes, look within. Like, okay, I think I've done this for 2 years and I didn't like my job. And I also didn't like my job because when I started working, I wasn't being paid. The thing about government institutions, when you start working with a government institution, it takes a while for you to start getting your salary. And at the time, I was commuting from my home to work, which was like a longer distance, and I wasn't being paid, and I mean it was stressful. So while I was doing that, I was trying to get a new job. I don't know, but during that period, I really do not know how I survived. This is something totally new. I don't know anything about tourism, or I didn't know anything about tourism, but now I can confidently say that I know a lot of things when it comes to tourism, when it comes to tour guiding, aside the comms that I did in school, and while I'm currently working as a public relations officer for the park. One thing that I have learned is sometimes in life you not always get what you want. It also doesn't mean that if you don't get what you want, you should render yourself worthless. I didn't really like my job when I started it, but as time went on, I realized that it was interesting because sometimes people come into the park, they are coming for something specific, they want to do it all, but at the end of the day, by the time you are leaving, you get to make a new friend, you get to meet somebody new, somebody who is not from your country, somebody who is not from your culture, your religion. The person is a totally different person. So you experience different people at different times. That was when I began to love what I do, because every day I meet new people, I get to interact with them, I get to learn a lot of things from them. Personally, I didn't really used to like kids because they come with a lot of things, but my job has given me the opportunity to interact with a lot of kids, and kids ask the darnest questions. Sometimes people come and they ask you questions. Sometimes I close from work, I get home and then I'm looking through my dictionary trying to find the meaning of a word. Some kid came to mention to me because they probably watched the cartoon, or because they went to school, their teacher mentioned the word to them, and then they come and then they're interacting with you and then they mention the word, and I realized that even as an adult, I don't know what the word means. So I started out to become a journalist. I was actually training, or I actually went through the training to become a journalist. I didn't end up as a journalist. I ended up becoming a non-forester, living in the same space with foresters, learning about wildlife and all of the resources that we have in the country, and then the need to protect the wildlife and its resources. One thing I always tell myself is that even though I didn't like my job, I think that's right from the beginning when I started, I should have loved my job, because it has given me a lot of opportunities now. Maybe if I had loved my job back then, I'd have even gotten much more opportunities than I have now. So it's one thing. Sometimes when we set out to do something, it doesn't always go as planned, but we should always keep at the back of our minds that whatever we want to do, it is up to us. If it doesn't go as planned, it doesn't mean that it is the end of the road for us. It is up to you to make there's this thing that people say, make lemons out of lemonade out
Make
of
lemonade out of lemons. Yes.
Make lemonade out of lemons.
Yeah.
Even up till today, I get people who ask me that, why are you not a journalist? Why are you not working in a radio station or a TV station? The same people will come and say that, oh, Mamavi, you are doing well at Shai Hills Reserve. So you see,
Yeah, I think you're doing an awesome job too, because many people come there because of you. I see you post about it. Oh, come and visit my monkeys. I can't tell us about the stories with your what you call your monkeys. Is it your baboons?
yeah.
And how they snatched your food today and all. It's all interesting, and people just want to come. And I think you've generated a lot of interest in Shai Hills by your frequent posts or invitations to people coming there, or to people to come there. And when they show up too, you're just so like warm and present. Even though I missed you a few times, I think all the times I've been there, I've probably run into you maybe once or twice.
Yes.
Yeah, but most
And
of
you
the time
know,
it's been really hard. But I know most people heard then like we're going because Mamavi said we should come.
yes.
That's a huge thing.
Sometimes I cast my mind back to when I was younger and I used to travel to my hometown, and I see the baboons by the roadside. It didn't occur to me that one day
You'll be the gamekeeper.
I mean, recently, one of my cousins was actually telling me about it, that when you used to use that road to your hometown, did it ever occur to you that one day? It never occurred to me. And I get people who say that, oh, Mama, we're actually doing a good job for Shai Hills, because a lot of people say that. But for me, they wouldn't have even know that there's a place like that there, or there are these animals in the park, because they don't really get to hear much about it. So I think that if I ended up becoming a journalist, maybe a lot of people will still not have known about Shai Hills Reserve. But because I ended up at Shai Hills Reserve, that is why now I can confidently say that a lot of people through me know about Shai Hills Reserve, and a lot of people visit the park because of me. So imagine I had become a journalist, who would have talked about Shai Hills? Nobody.
There's no telling.
So wherever you find yourself, it doesn't matter if that is not what you want, but wherever you find yourself, just make good use of the opportunity you have, because who knows, it may never come again.
True. And so I think it's just a matter of shifting your focus whilst you are there, so you don't feel like, and I'm stuck in this place and I don't like it. What can you do to make it enjoyable in the time?
I think that's what I did, because I am here. Even though nobody forced me to be there, I didn't really like the place. But as far as I have not made a move, I have to make good use of my time there. Yeah. And there's one thing I learned from one of my high school teachers, who would usually tell us that we should make an impact wherever we go. So when I remembered that day, I decided that, see, I didn't really like this place, but while I'm still here, there's this friend I have. I told him that, oh, I'm going to spend like 3 years at Shai Hills Reserve. In the next 3 years, call me and ask me where I am now. It's my 5th year.
5 years.
Every year we talk and he will ask me, Mama, when are you moving? I'm like, I don't really know if I'm going to move now, but you there, just give me some time. So I think that I just decided to shift my focus and then make an impact. And then we are here. So basically, what I'll tell my younger self, wherever you find yourself, whether you like it or not, as far as you are in that space for even a little time, just make an impact, leave a mark, so that when you are gone, you will be remembered for that unique thing that you did while you were at where you were.
Thank you. Like, this is a very valuable lesson. I mean, especially living in a country like ours, where most people end up after university getting jobs that they may not necessarily have liked, or they don't get their dream jobs, but they have to make do with what is available in the meantime. It's a very important lesson for us to have, to know that wherever you are, make the most of it.
Out of it, yes.
Make the most out of it until a better opportunity or where you want to become. Sometimes you even realize that the better opportunity you're thinking about is
May
really
never
not
come.
and it's not even what you thought. It's where you are is actually becomes the dream, and you're like, oh wow, this is enjoyable. See you 5 years and you're there, like you're still there, and I think you've only gotten better at your job. You've grown in the role, and that's just like exciting to me.
It's one of the things that I didn't think will happen to me, like growing in my role. And it's something that I always look forward to. That what can I do to grow? What can I do to make an impact? So every time I have to learn something new by myself, and by learning, it's not necessarily going back into the classroom to actually sit for a teacher to teach you. So while you're at where you are, whilst you are trying to make an impact, you should continuously seek or acquire knowledge, so that you'll be able to grow in wherever or whatever field that you find yourself, because it's important. If you don't do that, you get stuck.
Thank you. I know you have a lot of stories.
So there's one story another story that I'll share.
Yeah.
That's about home and family. Growing up, when I see a lot of people talk about how they've been defrauded or frauded or somebody has scammed them, I tell people that it will never happen to me again, because it happened to me once and I got the beating of my life. So when I was growing up, my mother had this provision shop. We had this Coca-Cola vehicle that would come to our shop almost every week. When they come to offload. When you are buying the drinks, they come to offload the drinks, and then we'll pay money, we'll give them the card, they'll record it, and then they'll give us the drinks, and then they leave. So there was this day that my mother went to the market, and then she left the shop in the care of an older young lady, somebody who was older than I was. I can't really remember how old I was, but I wasn't up to a teenager, or maybe I was a teenager. I really cannot remember. So I'm in the shop with this older sister of mine, let me see, an older sister of mine who was also a teenager, but she was like a bit older than me. Then she said she was going to the washroom, and then she left me at the shop alone by myself. We saw this Coca-Cola car in the area, but it hadn't gotten to our place. So there are 2 shops before my mother's shop. The car was at the first shop. So these guys and the Coca-Cola guys then would wear this red overall. So 2 guys came to our shop. They were in the red overall, so I presumed they were the Coca-Cola guys. Then they asked where my mother was. I told them my mother had gone to the market, and then they asked me if I was at the shop alone, and I said no, I was with my older sister, but she had gone to the washroom. And they said okay, there are 2 shops before ours. They are the first shop, and then they are offloading some crates for the woman, but what is left will not be enough to sell for the second and then my mother's shop. And because my mother buys much more than the second shop, they want to give my mother and leave the second shop out. So what will happen is that they will take the money and then record the quantity in the card, and then when they go, they'll just drive straight, get to our place, and then offload the crate. Then they will tell the woman at the second shop that, oh, my mother had already paid the money a long time ago. And I believed him. So I gave the money to him, gave him the card, he ticked, and then they left. Few minutes later, I saw the truck had moved to the second shop. So I was waiting. Then the lady I was supposed to be at the shop with came. Then I told her. She was looking at me some way, but she said okay. They were at the second shop. I saw them offloading the crates, and I'm like, what's happening? So they came. The driver didn't ask me anything. He just offloaded the drinks, and then he took the empty crates that we had, and then asked me for the card. I gave the card to him. Then he asked me for the money. I'm like, I just gave it. And I said no. Then we realized that the people that came there were not the Coca-Cola guys.
Oh wow.
So I had given my mother's money out to people I didn't know. I was so scared. My mother came. That was the first and last time I think my mother beats me. My mother came back from the market. The lady she left the shop with told her what had happened. She was so furious. My mother didn't say anything. She took me into the house, locked the door. Oh my god.
Wow, that would be really something.
It's an experience that I always have at the back of my mind. I mean, I forget a lot of things sometimes, but it is one thing that I have never forgotten. So every time I see people write on social media that I've been scammed, somebody has taken my money, and every time I remember that incident, because growing up, my mother didn't used to beat us like my father. My father would beat us once in a while when we misbehave, but my mother never touched my siblings and I. But for that particular day, so I told myself that, not that sometimes the people that get scammed, not that they are not smart, they are smart, but you may never know. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But mine, that was the first and last time that it is happening to me, because it will never happen to me. Imagine being beaten because of somebody who decided to
because
fraud
you got tricked by somebody.
And the thing that even hurt my mother the most was that somebody had also brought her crates and the money and asked her to buy. So it was not just her money, it was another person's money that was part of my mother's money. And for her, she was just thinking of how she was going to explain to the person that, oh, her daughter has been, her teenage daughter had been scammed, and how she was going to refund the money back to the person. I really did not know how she did it, but I know that for the rest of that week, or probably that month, by extension that month, my mother was so mad at me. She was so mad at me. So when I see people being scammed, I just remember that incident, and then I pray to God that it should never happen to me again. It should never ever happen to me again.
And you never saw the people who...
No.
Just...
I mean, from that time, I was on alert to see if I would see them, but I never saw them. And then there was another time that my father beat my sister and I because he said we had taken his phone. He was looking for his phone. My dad slept, and then he kept his phone under his bed. He woke up and then he started looking for his phone. He couldn't find it. And then he said my sister and I had stolen his phone and used the money to go and buy something. My father beats me. So when I see parents beating their children, I'm always interested to know why they are beating them, because these two beatings are the beatings I'll never forget in my life as an adult, because I cried. Like,
you hadn't done anything.
I hadn't done anything. Like, it wasn't my fault that I got scammed. It wasn't my fault that you had forgotten where you left your phone. My father finished beating my sister and I, and then realized he left his phone under his bed. And you know how parents are.
Wait. So wow. How did that end then? What?
You know how parents are sometimes. They won't actually apologize. They'll come and try to pamper you and just tell me, oh, I'm sorry, but nah, they'll just try to pamper you, and me, I didn't mind him. You've beaten me already. So now every time I see like parents beating their kids, I'm always tempted to ask, what did the child do? Why are you beating the child? Because sometimes it may not be any fault of theirs, right? So what's
the issue may not be even one,
something trivial that you just
and the fact that after all these years these two memories have stayed with you.
Oh, it has, because of the beating.
It has a huge impact on.
It does. It does. When parents beat them, because you may never know.
Children, they carry their heads for a long, especially in cases where the child believes that they did no wrong. They carry it for a long time, and that's a lot of trauma for the child.
So that's also an advice to parents. This one is my older self too. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to beat your children.
So this is the other way around. Your younger self is telling your older self that, Mamavi, when you have your children.
Exactly. When I have my children, I mean, sometimes I see my auntie shout, like, why are you shouting? Why? Because the child has, I'm like, relax. The child is just a child. So this one, it's an advice from my younger self to my older self, that when I grew up and I have children, no matter what they do, I won't beat them, because you may never know, they may live with that trauma for the rest of their lives. And I don't think that anybody wants that to happen to their child, that you'd have to. I mean, I think recently I even reminded my dad of that beating, and he just smiled, because
He didn't apologize even then.
You know, one of the things I read a story on social media about how somebody shared a story about how her mother did something to her when she was younger and how she still lives with that trauma. And then when she grew up, she tried to remind her mother of what she did, and then her mother actually apologized to her. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me just use that trick on my dad and see if. Oh, he just smiled at me and like, okay.
Maybe he doesn't remember.
Oh, he does. Do you think that sometimes you as a parent, sometimes you know everything you do to your children?
Oh yes.
So there's no way you say that you don't remember what you did. You do remember. So dear younger self to my older self, if you have children, no matter what they do, please don't beat them. Just let them be. Let them be the kids that they are supposed to be. Well, unless of course they steal your money.
Oh, then that one you do something.
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see whether we'll add that part to it or not. Zoe, think about it. To add that part or not. No, I'll probably just cut that part out.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, but thank you so much. Thank you, Mamavi. We're
for
grateful for these 2 stories you've shared with us, and I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of people who have struggled with accepting where they find themselves now at this point in time, and how it may not necessarily be in line with their dreams, and then also with people who have gone through some childhood trauma as a result of something they did not do, and how they are processing it at this point in time. I just ask, do you say you've gotten over it now? Like,
oh yeah, I've gotten over it.
You can actually laugh over it.
Oh, now I can actually laugh over it because I mean, it used to harm me a lot of times, but I don't want. That's why I said earlier that when I see an older person beating a child, I'm interested to know what the child did, because sometimes I fear that if you beat children for probably what they did not do, they may live with the trauma for the rest of their lives. I have gotten over it, but you may never know what the next child will, whether or not they'll be able to get over it. So every time, I try as much as possible to not, when it comes to beating kids and I see it, I don't mind my business. I'll ask.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you.
And
we'll
for
see
having
you
me.
when we return to Shai Hills very soon.
Hopefully, I'll be around.
Yes, hopefully.
Thank
and
you
guys, do check her
me.
out at Shai Hills. You can ask for Mamavi or Portia. Sometimes you don't know she's Mamavi, but you can ask for Portia at the Shai Hills Resource Reserve, and it's just an exciting experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me.
Okay, bye.
I am dumbfounded. Like, I have so many questions for her. I'm literally going, man, we should have had Mamavi in the discussion after. Like, I have so many questions. For example, I'm like, but so she wasn't being paid at the Forestry Commission either. So she could have easily been a journalist and still not gotten paid. So
yeah, and you know, she was commuting from, I don't know if you'll be familiar with the place, but our audience will be likely. She was commuting from Wager to Shai Hills. That's like, I live in Tema. My house to Shai Hills is about an hour. If you're moving from my house to Wager to my house is like an hour and a half or so. So she's doing this every day, public transport.
2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's and I mean even 2.5. That's probably in your own car or in your own vehicle. So she's most likely using public transport, and there isn't one vehicle that will take her all the way. So that's just wild, and it's an 8 to 5 job. It's really
That
wild.
is
For
so
her to have stuck it through.
Wow. So first of all, yes, we just want to say thank you to Mamavi for just, being so cool. As you guys were in the car, just disclaimer to our audience, the car was not moving, and that's why they didn't have their seatbelts on. We advocate that you have your seatbelt on if you are driving. And so this is something that I definitely would do if I was in Ghana. I'd have a camera person on the side of the car moving with seatbelt so we can have a carpool storytelling time.
We actually considered that, but
And so to our roving cameraman, Jared
yeah,
Nate.
Gerard was on standby. He was having a snack outside.
I know.
So,
So, that's definitely a challenge to you, Mamavi. Incredibly, what a powerful storyteller you are. I absolutely loved all of your stories. And as for the beatings, for those of you who are not Ghanaian or African for that matter, don't think of it as that we were being it was, let me say was, because I don't know if it's still happening now, but it was a part of our lives. That's just how we grew up. Most of us got beatings. And I kind of agree with Mamavi a little bit, that don't just kind of beat the child. And we use the word beat literally because really that's what you got. Over here, they would say you would get a pow pow or you get a whooping or, the cane would touch your skin. They kind of have a very politically correct way of saying it in some parts of the world. We just got beat. Okay. Our parents literally just beat us with their hands, whatever it is they found lying around.
and sometimes they beat us for no reason.
For no reason at all. They could be having
Just to put the fear of God in you,
or they could be having a fight with each other, and you remind the other parent of the other parent, and you got a beating anyway. But Mamavi said that, listen, unless the child is stealing from you, then everything else you can let go. And whilst it seems this is a me personal thing, I think that kids should definitely get punishment. Maybe not beating or anything like that, but honestly, if the beating is a thing that'll get to the child, I probably would try it. If a child began to steal at a certain age,
you need to address
my younger self opinion. It's a Zoe opinion because I've been through it and I think it straightened me out. And you all know a couple of those stories where my dad literally just kind of let me have it. Even though I didn't steal, I diverted. It was like a diversion of resources, i.e., it was a diversion of candy from a younger sister to myself, and I ate the candy, and I got the beating of my life. But it's
appropriation of
funds.
funds.
It probably took the ability to be a fraudster out of my life and all kinds of things because I never looked at other people's things with the same eyes. So yes, Sadi, like you said, it really was a misappropriation of funds, And Auntie Doris says, don't call it beating, call it discipline. And Mamavi, it is good to see you, my dear. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And I look forward to being on the Shai Hills myself very, very soon. Hopefully, who knows, right? But when I'm there, I'm definitely going to be looking for Mamavi or Portia. And I still think the funny thing about it is you are a journalist, just in a different form. I really do think you're doing your job as a journalist. What does a journalist do? Literally, they just give information. Sometimes it looks more glamorous than what a real journalist should be doing. But you are giving people information about Shai Hills and, of course, about Accra and Ghana as a whole. And if you really do think about it, when people say, I want to visit Africa and they go on the internet, most likely Shai Hills will come up. And it would probably these days with the way algorithms work, if you're typing in Shai Hills a lot on your platform, on Facebook or YouTube, wherever, what it means is that they would most likely see you. I think you're a journalist through and through, and you will be a journalist in the way that you're thinking one of these days. I absolutely believe that. Yes, and so Seti says, journalists tell stories, which is what you do, Mamavi. You really are a journalist. And the ingenuity of it is that you can create your own style of journalism. There is really is no one or two ways, you know. Now, I know you guys had some pictures over there. I saw some, let me pull it up, guys, so you can see it. Because I said to myself, I had a Trevor Noah moment. let me let me pull up this slide here, guys, just so, and don't laugh at me, I'm begging you. This, it's not my fault that I don't know how to say the name of this animal right. Okay, here. How do you call this animal, guys? What is the name of this?
Zebra, but I'm sure you said zebra.
I said,
Hey,
I
zebra.
rough, no, I say okapi. Nonsense, girl. So I literally said, hey, zebra in Ghana. And then I remembered a Trevor Noah show I watched, and I was like, wait, zebra? Zebra? So I had a whole moment, at least a whole minute, where I literally was debating, is it zebra or zebras? So guys, the beautiful thing is that zebras do exist in West Africa, Ghana. Honestly, in all of my life that I lived in Ghana, I never ever came across a zebra. So this is very exciting for me. Another thing is showing that this is in Ghana is so mind-blowing for me. And I know it seems like, oh my God, Zoe, don't make a big fuss of it, but honestly, for me, it's a big deal. And so, Jared, thank you so much for just kind of portraying this for us. I was so excited to see it. This happens in Ghana. You know what I mean? It's ridiculously cool. And do they allow us to touch these animals when you're in the Shai Hills?
No, you can't touch the zebra. It's just you have to be behind the fence. It's not
Okay.
so. There's no petting at Shai Hill, because the animals are pretty much in their natural habitat, and
Oh.
so it may not be a good idea. But the baboons are quite cheeky, though. They tend to snatch. If you have food, they are likely to snatch it from your hand. They're very rude.
Wow.
But
I love
the zebra is
it.
behind the fence, but it's close enough for you to see. Just don't touch it.
Right.
Not be
Oh,
in your
I'm so excited about this. And I'm so glad that Mamavi came on and we're segueing into this. It just feels like a whole big commercial, today's story about Ghana and for Ghana, which is what we want. You know,
Yes.
just telling our stories through all of these things like nature and the places that we have to offer as a country and as a people. And here are the beautiful baboons. It's coming up now. Oh my God. How did I miss these? Oh, wow. So this is like but I'm so concerned. I see an oncoming car.
Yes.
Do they know?
That's signs warning you to slow down.
Mhm.
Most people, okay, so what happens is the baboons wander onto the road most of the time. And Shai Hills staff keep advising people on the road or road users not to feed the baboons, kind of like you have in the US, don't feed the bear. But people are so fascinated by the baboons and they want to take photos and they want them to stand still so they can get the photos. So they give them food. So the baboons have gotten used to the idea that there's food, or rather, they associate the road with food. So they keep coming and they keep saying, don't do it, because when they get used to humans giving them food, the communities around are the ones that will suffer, because you'll be home and the baboon just walks in, is coming to eat because humans are feeding them. So that's why you have them on the road, because they are used to people giving them food. All those using that road who will not go into Shire Hills to go and look at them properly by driving past. end up stopping to feed them all the time. So that's why you have them on the road. But it's very rare to have like an accident where a baboon has been knocked down. Most people slow down when they get there, but there are always so many of them, like
Right.
all over.
Habitat, they're just there. It's part of the scene. You know, this is so cool. Auntie Dory says, teach me, Zoe, keep me updated. In my ancient days, it was zebra. In your days, what is it? Zebra? Exactly. See, I'm ancient too. Seriously. And oh, Mamavi, listen, I think that what I'm going to do is when I do visit, I'm going to make sure you're there first. Okay, because I think it would be such an incredible experience to see, the Shai Hills through your eyes, which is what I want to do. So I'm definitely going to be reaching out. I think I'm going to do a hoshashe and kind of find you on social media and just, ahoshashe you, which is what Zoe normally does anyway. So let's see. Let's go on. Is this Mamavi? No, it's not.
No,
Okay.
that's not Mama. She wasn't
Right.
there when we were taking the photos.
Yes. Oh, wow. You know, again, I'm fascinated and I'm so excited that I've come across an institution in Ghana that is structured and it works, at least to a certain extent. And I love that because it seems I've never thought about the forestry. I don't know. Let's just use the word division, commission, reserve. I didn't even know they had a uniform.
They do.
Which is very ignorant, and it tells you how much we don't invest in ourselves and don't kind of look to add more value to ourselves, because this is important work. And so thank you guys, Mamavi, for someone to actually, I'm sure there's people who grew up and say, I want to work with the Forestry Commission of Ghana, or, be a part of the tourist scene in Ghana, something, but it shouldn't even stop at just tourism. It's just reserving the natural state of a lot of things. Nature-wise is just so incredible. I'm going around in circles. Big Brother Nanara says, oh, Mama. See, I didn't read this. I wouldn't have put it up. Why are you like this? Why? Mama V, please don't mind him. This is not nice. Not nice. And wow, Gerard, what an incredible shot. This is so beautiful. Now tell me, what animal is this? Because I don't want to disgrace myself.
It's a kind of antelope. I think it's a bushback. Mamavi is here so she can clarify.
Yes, Mamavi, can you
wrong,
clarify for us?
I know it's an antelope.
Wow, because
I'm not sure which particular one it is.
I kept saying, it's
not. Did you say deer?
I thought it was a deer, but I saw the horns.
We don't have deer. Well, deer are not native to Ghana. But if you go, there's another place. Safari Valley has deer now, actual deer, because they have all those spots. But here, Ghana is mainly antelope that we have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But I saw the horns and I thought, perhaps is that a form of?
Yeah, she said it. She's answered. It's an antelope. It's a cob.
Oh, see what knowledge! Beautiful. Thank you. Because I started thinking about that. In JSS, I think it was in one of the sciences, they would teach us about different kinds of animals, and I remember the different kinds of goats. There was a Sokoto Guda.
Yes, Sokoto red. The sort of something dwarf something.
So again, I did that thing in my brain. I was like, is that a kind of a goat? The horns. Listen, it has been such an incredible experience for me because I was looking. I really love this. This is so incredible. Now, tell me about this one. What is this here?
Okay, so there's a museum at the Shai Hills Resource Reserve.
Uh-huh.
So and they've got all these. So this is like a tortoise shell. There's a
Oh,
tortoise shell.
wow.
Yes, so they've got preserved elephant ear. There's an
What?
elephant foot. I think there's an elephant skull. They've got all these parts of dead animals that
So
just for
this
you
is
to.
a real part of it. It's
Yes,
not, I thought
yes.
it was carved
No,
out
they
of
are
wood.
real. They are not fake. They are all real.
This is
Then they get to see.
incredible.
They've got it all at the museum. People don't know about that usually, but if you actually go there, you talk to Mamavi and her team, they will drive you up, or you can hike to the museum.
Oh,
There's so
I'm
much
all for the
more to
hiking. Let's
see.
hike there.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, now I'm even more fascinated because I really I was looking at the detail and I said, wow, whoever carved this
No,
just
it's
has
real.
patience for
It's
detail.
real.
Wow.
It's real.
Oh, I'm even more impressed. Mama V, I am just like tipping my hat out like to you guys. Like
It's
this,
real. They've got different kinds of moth and butterflies in the photo in the glass frame. So you see that there's so much to see and so
wow.
much to learn at that place.
Listen, my guys, when are we doing this hike thing? Let's set it up already. Of course, the girl with the red hair will be there as
Yes,
a
yes.
guide.
There's so
And
many
so
things. There's hiking, there's biking. Um, they have all these hills you can climb. They've got these caves you can go into
what?
to see. They've got bats, white bats, and whatnot. Oh, and then they've got glamping. You know, the glamorous campsites.
I didn't even
So,
know what
so
is
it's the tent.
glamping.
So glamping is glamorous camping.
Hey,
You know,
Jesus,
normal
just calm
camping would
down
just
now.
be normal camping would just be like a basic tent with your sleeping bag, and then it's out there in the bush or on the ground, and then you sleep, and that's it. With glamping, glamping is like a really bougie tent. You have a bathtub. They have a bathtub in this one. There's electricity. There's TV. It's like your house put in a tent, pretty much. It's like a
Interesting.
luxury outdoor living, and they've got currently there are three of those at Shai Hills, but they are building some more.
Oh,
So,
wow.
and it's set on the top of some of the hills, so you can watch sunrise and sunset. It's just
Hi.
beautiful. It's incredible, truly.
Hi. Ghana,
So there's a lot to do at Shai Hills.
there's
So
just
much.
a lot to do in
Yes.
Ghana. This is so incredibly mind blowing for me. First of all, I learned a new word, glamping. I've never heard that in my entire life. And I think I have a very wide range of a vocabulary. So
Yes, you do.
thank you guys for teaching me about glamping. I know, right? I'm so fascinated. Mamavi says, this is from our museum, which has skins and body parts of some wild animals we have in and out of the park. And of course, other parks in the country. Mamavi, well done. I'm so impressed with you guys. And so, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to save up a little. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna kind of slide into your DM and ask for prize lists and stuff like that. And I don't know, we need to do an online bazaar fair thing, maybe led by Nuerki, where she literally takes chunks of all these cool places in Ghana and we do
That's an idea.
yeah, a nice little profile because I'm so much
Yeah.
enjoying this. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, so here's the last picture. Now I'm kind of really hoping or wishing that there was more pictures, but it's okay. This is the life, okay? This is the life. To wake up to this in the morning, I immediately just got so homesick. My heart was hurting just looking at this picture. I don't know who those guys are, but I am so jealous of them. I am so jealous. And Auntie Doris says, is the gate fee free for Zoe and I? Oh, no, no. Listen, I'm an advocate. I'm always saying that we should put our money where our heart is. If we're going to go and talk about storytelling in Ghana and in Africa and all that, the best we can do for all of these spaces is to at least come out of our pockets or with our sponsors' monies and pay them. So I don't want to go in for free. I want to go in fully funded and paid for so they can get paid because these guys are actually, can you imagine for the first couple of years, she had to, do you know where Wager is? No, no, no. And also she wasn't.
Winter is in the central region almost.
This is crazy. It is crazy, Doris. No, Mama V. I know Auntie Doris was playing, but I love that on this platform we get to be family and all that. I know she was playing. She would want to pay for it too. I know that. But please, Mama V, it should not be free for me or Auntie Doris or anyone else for that matter. I really, really think if there's a gate fee, it's different if it's actually free. Like when you go to Red Clay. If you took out your money and gave to he would be like, bro, what are you doing? Because it's free, right? But if there's a fee at Shai Hills, we want to pay. So no, we will let you know, but we're coming with our monies, either by funders or that's what we saved up, our own little monies, and we'll pay for it. It has to be just that. Nana says, just learn the glamping word too. Googled it. I'm going to go and Google because me too. I want to see some beautiful pictures online. Maybe share, sir. And we want to come and do glamping too. Share. You. So this is at some of the top of some of the hills.
Yes. Yes,
Wow.
so some of the they have Mogo Rock, Elephant Rock, there's so many of them. You can do abseil there as well.
Hey.
Yes, and there's I think free climbing. Is that what they call it? Those who climb rocks without the.
Hey, Debbie, that one there, no. Like
People do all kinds of things. So
no. We're not doing free climbing. No. Some of us have heavy posteriors, and because that one, gravity alone will just be fighting against us. We cannot be doing that.
But it's a very exciting place to visit, and there's so much to do. We can spend an entire day there and not get bored because
me, I want to do the glamping so I can have like 3 days. You do.
That's yes.
Oh,
there's a barbecue grill outside, so you can. It's really,
Wow. Oh man, Nuerki, you are having the best time of your life. I really enjoy seeing Ghana through your eyes. We're just about rounding up, but for those of you who don't know who Nuerki is, I'm going to let Nuerki herself tell you a little bit about herself. But you also see it in the ticker because this is what we do. It's a give and take affair, right? She actually goes out there and meets all kinds of people, and then she curates a story for us once a month. The best we can do for Nuerki is to patronize her services, her ideas, and all the incredible things she's doing. It always starts from the inside out, right? She's doing it because she loves it. It's a calling, it's a purpose. She's doing it because it brings revenue to her that helps her children and her family. And then it helps her community. Then it helps Ghana. Then it helps Africa. It's always going like that. So I'm going to let her tell you just a little bit about what she does. And of course, Jared, I know you're watching our roving storytelling photographer and videographer. We want to say thank you. Another incredible photographer who is doing wonderful things with Nuerki and of course for Ghana too. So yeah, just in a few minutes, just tell us. Yeah, like do that. Yeah. And then tell us.
Okay, so my name is Nuerki, or the girl with the red hair.
Mm-hmm.
and this was coined by Zoe. I'm the concierge of all things Ghana.
She is, though. She
I'm
really
pretty
is.
much your front desk to Ghana. Wherever you want to go or whatever you need to know about Ghana, I'm your go-to person. I organize tours and travels, both day and overnight stays for people who want to discover Ghana or visit, just pay visits to any place. Whichever kind of tour or experience you're looking for, I provide it, from culture to history to just chilling to activity-based or adventure-based visits. I provide all that as well. And then we also provide the She Fly Ghana service, which is using the flying dresses. This is another thing for you to Google.
I
Another one.
know, like the she fly.
So the
Ooh, I'm
flying
looking forward to
dresses.
that. I need
So
to go tone up a
where
little bit, though.
you can
You
just
know.
that's more for ladies. So you just wear this dress
Please, we'll think about another he
and
fly for men.
yes. So that's what I do. If you're coming to Ghana or you're already in Ghana and you'd like an experience with your family or a solo trip or whatever, I curate it for you. I could come along with you or not. It's up to you entirely. And
Oh, you
like we
better
have
come
the
along with
best
us.
package in Ghana, really, because we give you everything. When you pay, it covers everything, all your meals, transportation, pick up, drop off, professional photography from Gerard, like give you all the photos, excellent photos, and then we have emergency medical support as well as your travel.
Wow.
Yes, so it's a whole lot. And for those who are not coming, who are not living in Ghana, we help you. We support for um, visa application and then your
You do
passport,
that
whatever
too?
it is. Yes, we provide all that kind of support. So you just need to let us know what you need, and then we will help you out. So
Wow.
that's what I do, pretty much.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Like, seriously, and also, even if you don't want to go to Ghana yet and you just feel like, man, I really kind of did. And Nuerki didn't actually tell me this, and I'm kind of just bringing it up on her. But if you just feel like, listen, I like what she's doing, it's great, and I just want to support her, the numbers are right there. You know what I mean? Send her something, whatever. You're putting money back in Ghana, you're putting money back in Africa. That is what we do, Nuerki, I just want to take time to say thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
so, so grateful that you took time to do this with us. This is like, it's over the top, ridiculously well done. I like the car idea. Do more of that for us.
Yeah, Gerard, I listening.
I know Jared is listening and he's probably like, Zoe, you too. We like the soft life. Like, somebody will say, we like soft life. Don't do that to us. But I think it's just so innovative. And I was thinking about another show over here, which is karaoke carpooling or something.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Something Corbin, I forget his first name.
Yes.
But it's kind of fun. So maybe we will
Josh? I think it's Josh.
Josh. Well, whatever his name is. I mean, I thought it would have been more fun with Trevor Noah, but I'm biased to Trevor Noah, obviously. So, um, honestly, I feel like this is something that could be fun, and it would be a new idea to kind of just have storytelling carpools.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. So, hey, Jared, over to you. Nuerki, thank you. This has been incredible. Housekeeping. Is that what we call it? Housekeeping, not house cleaning, housekeeping. I'm supposed to do some housekeeping. So we've told you about Nuerki, the girl with the red hair, and then we've also told you about She Fly Ghana and all the incredible things you're doing. And we're telling everyone who is African, who is Ghanaian, and even if you're not African or Ghanaian and you want to spend some money in Africa, there's a few people that we know are trusted and we're doing a lot of important work, and we want you to just support them. These are tried and trusted people that we know, some of them personally, some not. But hey, they're African. That's all that matters, right? Wear Ghana, of course. They're one of our favorite go-to clothing places in Ghana. Humanity Chats based in the United States, but just kind of curates stories from all across the world, and they just kind of come and tell us what they do and how they're doing it and things like that. Curated by Margie March on Thursdays, every evening on Thursdays at 7 p.m. EST, I believe. So just check her out on social media. Like, she's all over the place, so you can't miss it. Of course, Koa Designs, keeping us authentic. She was just in London. I hear it was a fantastic show, and sale kind of pop up. Of course, Music for Your Quality Feed by our own Uncle Lekofi's show. M. Sims by Mabel Simpson, another incredible designer. Ryle by Design, who is out in Nyack, New York, but also she's from Kenya, so that's why we're actually showcasing her. Vonzige Bridal, another incredible fashion designer who is just doing mind-blowing things in Ghana. Keys and Credo by Nana Sapon, Horseman Shoes, Caveman Watches. Of course, our own big brother Nana Arret Damwa and Book Nook Stores. They have been our affiliate and friend and supporter, and just generally go to big brother for ever since we started To My Younger Self. Every once in a while when we do these book giveaways, big brother Nana would kind of step in and say, oh, hey, Book Nook is sponsoring, because everything books in Africa should be channeled to Book Nook store. I want to say thank you to our donors, people who just come alongside us. Oh, I forgot to tell you about Kunda Kids. They're doing incredible things about children's books and African historical books for just kids, learning languages and stuff like that online. Incredible duo coming out of London, Nigeria, and Uganda. Okay, alrighty. So now to our monthly donors. Auntie Rose Machayo, we just want to say thank you. In fact, it would be a good idea if we just pulled it up. But Jane Fiorito, now this young woman, I call her a young woman, but she's really like an auntie, who is traveling the world doing mission work. Sometimes she's in the outskirts of some village somewhere with no internet. This woman would still make sure that there is a donation coming through every month consistently. Man, now that's commitment. That's belief. And I just want to say thank you. I'm so appreciative of that. I think this month she's somewhere in Greece, somewhere, but not like fancy Greece. I'm talking backward Greece. But she's always coming through for us. Auntie B of Exceptional Care, Auntie Araba, who is it's a coded name. She doesn't like it when we mention her name, Mr. EKD. There's just so many of you who are always just saying, Zoe, how can we help? Zoe, how can we help? And for those of you who are playing producer per episode, people just come up to us and say, I know another great storyteller. Let me put you guys in touch with this person. I want to say thank you. We really appreciate you. It takes a lot to do this every week. There's so much going on in the background you would never have an idea of. And so knowing that when we show up, no matter what's going on in our lives, when we show up, you show up, it's so important to us, and we so appreciate it. I'm so grateful to you. And this week, I want to leave you with a thought that Mamavi gave us. Wherever you find yourself, no matter how challenging, no matter how difficult, no matter how, the word I'm looking for is compartmentalized or discombobulated it is. Just do your best to brighten your corner in the tiniest little way. Just keep showing up, because consistency and hard work will always trump talent. I am so positive, and I absolutely believe in that saying. Just keep showing up, okay? All right, I'm going to jump off my soapbox now. I did. Nuerki, what is the last thing you want to tell us before we sign off?
I just want to say thank you to Mamavi again for sharing her. Somebody will probably have sugar-coated it a bit, made it sound glamorous, especially because it's a government job and all that. But she shared her truth with us. And I have been inspired and encouraged to keep showing up because it gets really discouraging. I'll tell you what, before I met Mamavi, I've been feeling really discouraged for the last couple of weeks. So I've just been slow about posting. But after listening to Mamavi, I just thought about it and like, look, she's showing up. She kept showing up and it paid off. So I have been encouraged, and I would encourage all of us to do the same. Just keep showing up. One day it pays off. And to our wonderful should I say audience? You use audience for internet.
They are our audience. They really are. Yes.
Yeah, you bring all the energy, and
yes,
we're very, very thankful for all the support. Your comments are so encouraging, and like it just keeps us going. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Zoe.
As always, thank you. You know, I had a few thoughts about the Coca-Cola story, but now it's too late now. Darn it. And of course, Paul Ninson and the Dekan Center. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys over there doing incredible things. Guys, we're signing off with so much love from Nuerki and I. We want to say we love you. We'll see you next week, actually with Eduji, another fantastic storyteller. Eduji Tamaklo would be with us. And he will be here to share some incredible stories with us. So do not make it a point to not miss it. I promise, as always, you will not be disappointed. My name is Zoe Baraka. The show, of course, is To My Younger Self. And we will see you next week. As always, bye-bye. Something is going on.
So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. What you're shown. So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. Manchester, you know Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. What's that to do, you know? Why am I saying?